Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are watching us from, our dear distinguished audience. My name is Comfort Eyitayo, your regular host on Connect with Comfort show. On this program, we aim to add value to people on business enterprise and personal growth. Each show is organized to feature guests who are subject matter experts that helps us to shed more light on the topic at hand. I am super delighted that you're able to join us this evening, and I say a warm welcome to you. The topic that we'll be treating today lies at the very core of every successful enterprise, and that is structure and systems, a must for every business. In an era marked by dynamic changes, relentless competition, and evolving consumer preferences, the significance of a well-defined structure and efficient system cannot be overemphasized. Businesses, whether large or small, or even just starting up, operate within complex ecosystem. The foundation upon which they build operations is very critical to the success of such businesses. The purpose of our discussion today is to examine the importance of structure and system in sustenance of a successful business. Structure provides clarity in roles and responsibilities. It also defines reporting lines and establishes a sense of order within the organization, which means without it, there could be chaos. On the other hand, systems automate routine tasks, reduces error, and enable businesses to adapt to changes in the marketplace quickly. So now that we know the importance of this topic, we should just go ahead straight away and examine it, have better insight through the help of our guest who is already in the house. But before we do all that, we will go on a very short break and we'll be right back. Please remain connected. Thank you.
Parks and Recreation is one of the best work-based sitcoms. As Deputy Director of the department, Leslie Knope has some seriously good leadership skills. In the final episode, it's implied that she'll eventually become President of the United States. Not bad, huh? A born overachiever, Knope instinctively wants to manage and do everything herself. Yet, when she lets go by effectively delegating to and empowering her team members, Knope's leadership skills really soar. This is because the performance levels of employees greatly increase when managers place trust in their abilities. They're more engaged in tasks and are able to understand how their role impacts the bigger picture of the organisation. The major outcomes often include increased dedication to the company's goals and objectives, leading to greater productivity. So, take a leaf out of Knope's book and get ready to empower.
You are welcome back. I hope we got a tip or two from that video. Our guest, like I said earlier on, is already with us, is in the house, and is no other than Dipo Okunbanjo. Dipo Okunbanjo is a seasoned business strategist. He is the co-founder of Antlock Media and Antalling strategist. Please join me in making welcome our distinguished guest of the day, Dipo Okunbanjo. You are most welcome, Dipo, and we are glad you are able to join us this evening. We are also appreciative of your time and your willingness to share your vast knowledge on this very crucial topic with us. Thank you very much. You are welcome. You may need to check your mute button because we are not hearing you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, better. Thank you.
Okay, all right, great. I said thank you so much for having me, and it's definitely a pleasure.
Thank you. So without much ado, we go straight to our interview segment, which is starting by asking, for the benefit of our viewers, why is organizational structure important in business?
Uh, that's such a great question to ask, and in a nutshell, organizational structure would basically show you your strength and weakness. So it's very important if you want to be able to do well in the marketplace, and if you want to be able to um, get to the level or goals that you have, to be able to know how to work on those weakness, and also to know what your strengths are. So in a very nutshell, that's like the very critical reasons to why um, organizational structure is important in business.
Okay, so it helps to provide framework for efficiency and growth of the business, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because any business that is going to grow needs to be able to make sure that they work on whatever their weaknesses are. And organizational structure actually helps you to work on those weaknesses to make sure that you're able to work towards your goal. And at the end of the day, there is growth.
Okay, thank you for that. How does a clear organizational structure contribute to effective decision making?
Hmm. So, um, one of the great things about structures, and I always tell people this, is whenever you're making decisions, you want to make sure that you are very objective about it. So there's no sentiment, um, there's no back and forth, there's no reason for anyone to question the decision that you've made. And this is part of what helps in that. Organizational structure helps in that because it's able to bring clarity to the decisions. and it helps everyone to be able to see what the performance um, target is and how to be able to make it work for you. So when you have those structures in place, it makes it easier to make decisions, and it's evident to everyone why we're making those decisions. It's not sentimental on family values, it's not sentimental on you liking a particular preference or not, maybe a particular person, but it's based on the structure at hand, is based on the framework that has been created. That's part of why we have what we call an election in a country. It's meant to be able to bring structure to how we make decision. You go there, you vote, you come out. So at the end of the day, we count it, and it's that simple. So once they are structured, it helps. It helps to hinder nepotism.
It helps us to clarify things and prevent confusion. I believe that's
Yeah,
in a nutshell
exactly,
what we're trying to say. So people
exactly.
know their reporting hierarchy, the who to report to within the organization, and what to do in any situation. Just making sure that we don't have a duplicated effort. Okay, thank you very much. How what are the consequences of a lack of structure within a business unit?
That's a very good one. When there's lack of structure, just look at it as you're building. It basically means that your building is coming down. Because when there's lack of structure, it means that those in the organization won't know their roles, they won't know their responsibilities, they also won't even most likely know their line of reporting, because there's no proper structure that lets them know how to be able to go about it. So it means that everyone is literally moving confused in the organization. And for people who are business owners, it technically means that you're wasting money because people don't have clear understanding of what they are meant to do and how they are meant to carry out their responsibilities. Were you able to hear me? Okay, so I was talking about responsibilities, and like I said, structure is really, really important, because when you don't know what you're meant to do, it's evidence that you're going to do rubbish. And when you do rubbish, it means that the organization is not going to be able to meet their goal. They are not going to be able to achieve what they have in mind to get done. Or it also means that they're just going to spend so much money trying to get to where they need to get to, where they could have just spent little and be able to achieve that same goal. So it literally would help in terms of reducing your costs. And yes, so it will help in reducing your costs, and it's also helping reducing the lack of confusion you have in the organization. I think we lost Mrs. Tyre for a bit. So I think I'll go on to talk about one of my beloved companies that I think made structure so clear, and a very big multinational company, and they do it so well, and they do it with ease, and because they do it so well, we're not able to even notice any flaw. And one of those company is would have to be Coca-Cola. I really love Coca-Cola organizational structure. Now, what is Coca-Cola's organizational structure? You find out that Coca-Cola has a general manager. They have a general manager, and then they have functional managers. So these functional managers now have different managers under them. So that's where you start to have the likes of the sales manager, you have the marketing manager, you might have like the logistics manager, you have different sorts of managers in that field, but everything is structured from the general manager to the functional manager and then down to some of these places. And for a a company like Coca-Cola, we know that Coca-Cola is across the globe. Coca-Cola is not just in Nigeria or Africa, it's in the world. So it shows you the essence to why they need to have a very strong structure, why they need to make sure that things, that their processes are on point. Because if that is not in place, then it means that they are going to have so much confusion in what they are doing. And one of the things you notice is Coca-Cola actually gives a bit of liberty to the different um, countries and nationals. So that's part of reasons why you would see on your Coke, you would see Coke for Obina or Coke for Femi, because they are giving that preference to Nigeria. So Nigeria has a bit of flexibility when it comes to how they how they handle how they handle their business. So this is technically considered like a matrix organizational structure. So you're able to have like the product division, you have like the business type, you have the functional groups, and like I said, you have the general manager. So Coca-Cola is one company I would always tell people to study when it comes to structure. I don't think you can
Okay,
ever
Dipo, I hope you are not a
get
manager for Coca-Cola. You are advertising Coca-Cola on their product. Okay, thanks for that tip. Sorry for the network glitch. How do we, how do different types of organizations structure impact business operations and outcomes?
please come again.
How do different types of organization structure, e.g., hierarchical, matrix, flat, how does it impact business operations and outcome?
Yeah, that's also another great question. So this structures like the ones you've mentioned, including Matrix, like I used for Coca-Cola, what it does is it helps to ease control. It eases control and also in managing knowledge. And then one of the crazy thing that happens with companies is how do you cope with change? Because we're in a time and season where a lot of changes are coming. So this these different structures will help you and guide you on how to be able to cope with change, and also how to also respond to international international clients and also international partners. So some of these matrix will help you to be able to do that. And then lastly, also, if I forget, it helps you when it comes to performance targeting. If you don't have any of this structure, it will be hard for you to even um, know how you are performing, because there's nothing that you are guiding it by.
Okay, thank you very much. We have talked so much on structure, how it provides a clear guideline, accountability, and growth for organization. Let's look at the systems aspect. What role
Mm,
do systems and processes play in ensuring consistency and efficiency within a business?
mm. That's also another good one. Um, so system basically, like I was saying earlier, is how we're able to give support and control to people. It's how we're able to give support and control to people as to what they are meant to carry out. So with this, they're able to know the elements. They're able to know the elements that make up the organizational design. So in systems, we make sure that they have the necessary tools. They are equipped with all the knowledge needed to make sure that they can fully carry out their roles and responsibilities.
Okay, so well, the system, as you are suggesting, helps to support structure because that's the essence of our
Exactly.
topic. We are talking of the symbiotic relationship between the structure and the system. Structure, the guidelines, the hierarchy, and the charting of responsibility and all. Now, the system is the one that helps to run the business that we use to run the
Exactly.
business. And if we need to automate, that's the one we also use to automate the business processes to make it more efficient and easier for everybody to follow and then move the business forward. Okay, how can businesses develop and implement effective systems and processes? Now that we have understood what that is, how can business develop the right system for their own type of business or organization setting?
So so it's important first that you know and you pick out a structural type. So we have in the structural types, we have functional, we have the multi-divisional, we have matrix, we have even the project base. Um, so it's important to first understand what type of structure you want to carry out. So on the functional structure, that's where you have like the chief executive officer. You also have like the under the chief executive officer, then you have the products department, sales, finance, and personnel. So this works well for a situation whereby the chief executive officer wants to be in touch with all aspects of operations. And with this, also, everyone has like a clear definition of responsibility. But my issue with this also is the fact that it becomes like overburden for the CEO because they are too much into operations. And then you now have like the multi-divisional, which I spoke about earlier, which basically helps you to separate the division based on the products and services that you have, and even based on the geographical areas. So in this, you would have like the head office, and then you have like the central services, and then you have like different divisions that do different things under under them. So one has to really look into the types of structures and the one that would work for their business before they decide.
Okay, I guess you've touched on what would have been my next question, which is talking about challenges in having this structure and system in place. When you talk about the chief executive having being overburdened and things like that, I think that speaks to a business that does not have clear structure because that's where we started. That businesses must have clear structure to help to pilot or guide. In fact, we refer to it as the framework within which the system will now work or the operation of the businesses will now work. So if it's well defined and everybody knows their role and there's no duplication of effort or crisscrossing of roles, then the chief executive should not really be overburdened. So I think
Yeah,
you
but,
just touch on what should have been the challenges in that system.
yeah, at the same time, most of all these structures, they have their advantages and disadvantages. So, for instance, with the functional structure, depending on the level at which you are, especially if you're still a very small company with a small staff, this might make sense for you, especially as the chief executive um, officer. You want to make sure that you're in operations. You reduce the control. There are clear there are clear definitions and responsibilities at what you want to achieve. So that's a good part to it. But that's why I say that every company needs to actually take time and look at it
Understand their
based on where they
business
are. Yeah.
and look at
So
the
they are,
structure that fits.
yeah, because there are advantages and disadvantages.
Yes. So how can technology and automation support the creation and maintenance of efficient system in business? Now that we have defined the two, we talk of the structure, we've talked of what the system. So if we are talking of technology and automation, I think particularly it's referring to the system. So how does that support the creation and maintenance of efficient system in business?
So like they say, where there's no law, people run helter skelter.
This is
Um,
inevitable.
exactly. So technology actually helps to be able to bring in some of those laws and guidelines. So, for instance, something as simple as a finger clocking system helps everyone in that organization. So you know that once you come in, you you thumbprint and it captures your data of when you're in. Now, there's no someone you are going to pay that is going to write that I can say, oh, please write that I came 5 minutes early, write that I
Sign
came
for me when you get there.
exactly signed for me and all that. So as simple as attendance, which is still under this whole systems and structure, really goes a long way, and it just helps to bring clarity to everything. So when we say we're deducting 1K from you for every hour you're late, it's clear because you thumb printed when you got there. There's no um
There's a record to prove that you didn't come on time or
as
you didn't come at all.
exactly. So technology literally just eases everything,
Exactly, yes.
especially when it comes to capturing the data.
The data. Okay. I think it also help in some of these mundane tasks that people would have stayed long hours going on break and all that. That all these routine tasks that can be done in minutes instead of days. So I
Yeah.
think that speaks to the efficiency that we are looking for in the whole system of for the business, so that the more tasks we can get done faster by machine rather than machine will not go on sick leave
On a break.
or
Yeah.
half a day or break. So those are the areas too that I think technology and automation has really helped businesses. And we advise our online audience that are going into business to see, even if you are a startup, a small startup, there are still areas you can look at your business and see how you can get the benefit of technology.
Automate it.
With anything that has routine task that can be automated, it will make life more easier and even less costly, I will say. Okay, thank you for that. So in what ways can a well-defined structure and efficient system contribute to scalability and growth for a business? Because everybody wants to grow in business. Yes, you cannot maybe achieve it just one time, but scaling it up gradually. So how can a well-defined structure and efficient system contribute to this?
I like the fact that you said contribute to scalability and growth of a business,
Of the
because
business? Yes.
most times people always feel once you're scaling that you're growing, um, and they forget that to scale, you can scale and not grow. What now happens is you're not proportional. You feel like you're growing, but you're just scaling. So there are two different things. This could be like a scale. This could be you scaling. You feel like you're scaling, but it's just you stretching what you already have at the moment instead of you growing into a bigger side. So I like the fact that
Bigger
you were
size.
able
Yeah,
to
true.
separate those two. And just like you said, I
Maybe,
believe every
maybe,
business.
maybe what they refer to all movement, all motion, no movement. If you are scaling and you are not growing,
Exactly.
okay. But
Exactly.
we want to scale and grow. In this
Exactly.
context in which the question is asked, we are talking of scaling towards growth of a business.
Exactly. And I think what I would always advise every business when it comes to um, how they can how they can be able to make sure that this is happening is to first things first study the organization. Sometimes you might literally need to um, bring in a neutral body, because I've also noticed that sometimes, um, especially CEOs, they are always sentimental about some things and can give excuses to why some things are
Not done
being done in that particular way. So when you bring in an external body, they're able to really audit
get
and
fresh
know
idea.
exactly, to know what is going on. So that's like first things first. I would ask that should be done in order to be able to make sure that structure is there, to be able to make sure that it's efficient and brings about growth. Make sure that there is proper audits, and then you can move in from there. Don't lie to yourself. If things are bad at the moment, they are bad. Whatever it is, they
So
will
for the
find a way.
benefit of our audience, what we are saying is that sometimes in business, it is not out of place to bring in an external person for new ideas on how to grow the business. Perhaps you have been doing things a certain way and maybe it's not achieving the desired purpose. You may need a fresh or different look. So we are being told that we should embrace maybe an alternative look from either a consultant or a friend or a business associate that you know you can trust, because you don't want to expose your inner workings to competitors
Exactly,
for the sake of
exactly. So
growing.
it's better things like that are
That's true.
sorted out early.
Okay, thank you very much. We will go on a very short break and we'll be right back. Our guest is still in the house. Please remain connected. We'll be back. Thank you.
I wanted to give up. I'm done with all the things I'm going through. I'm trying to keep my head up. I try to win, but every time I lose. Should be getting better. I try, but I don't know what to do. Hope this ain't forever. I just wanna make a breakthrough, but something inside said never give up. All of these setbacks are major setups. If I keep on fighting, if I keep on trying, if I aim for the sky, one day things will go my way. One day things will go my way. One day things will go my way. I've gotta hang in there.
Welcome back. Thank you for remaining connected. We are still on the topic structure and system, a must for successful business. Now, we've looked at structure, what it is, the importance of it. We've looked at what constitutes system and how it can help us to efficiently run our businesses. Now, we've done all that. If we are now looking at changing market conditions like we have in our own climate, a lot of that recently and it's still ongoing, how can we adapt our structure and system to changing market condition or industry trends? Even though we've
Hmm.
had the business, the structure established, system established, but there are changes in the market or in the industry that we operate in. So how do we adapt?
So that's where evaluation comes in, and you need to be able to put in a time frame to how how much do you evaluate that, and also in your systems and structure, like we've been talking about, there are goals that are already set up. So when you evaluate maybe quarterly and you go back and you realize that we're not meeting our goals, so that's where the questions come up, like why are we not meeting our goals, what are the issues that we are facing, and you sometimes start to look at the um, external forces that might be causing some of those issues. And in those places, you can then start to see how to make sure that you are on quote unquote current or still trendy in a changing environment. And I think COVID really taught everyone that a lot of people were going to school physically, churches most especially. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure before COVID, um, if you told for the younger guys, if you told your mom that I've gone to church and I went to online church, they'll be like, "What are you talking about? Go go and
You
wear your
need
clothes and go
deliverance.
out." Exactly, but COVID made everyone embrace that, because everyone had to look at how best can we still make things functional. What do we do in this system and time? And
Adapting to the conditions as at that time.
exactly.
Yeah, that's a very good example. Even though I know some pastors will not like for you to continue to quote COVID to
Funny,
encourage online attendance.
funny enough, I'm also a pastor, so
Okay,
there's no.
now do, do you crave for those good old days when you have your church packed instead of half of the congregation online? Okay, God
Yeah,
will help
yeah.
us.
Amen.
Thank you very much. What strategies can businesses employ to ensure that their employees understand and adhere to established systems and processes?
Hmm. So this is where
What are the
training.
strategies?
So this is where training and development comes in.
Comes.
When you're setting up a system and structure, they need to be trained about it. They need to be sensitized about it. And you also need to be able to get their buy-in concerning the system and structure that you are creating. So sometimes you can even ask for their suggestions and all, but it's important that they are well trained, um, they are well sensitized concerning it. You just don't bring things and stuff it into people. You need to be able to explain how this can
You
help
carry
them.
you carry them along so that
Exactly,
they
and how
also
have
have
the
that sense of
explanation.
belonging.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a good one. So how can a business strike a balance between structure and creativity or innovation? Like we said
Hmm.
earlier, structure is what we use to provide the guidelines, the framework, and if it's all well set, You now say somebody is being creative, thinking of another way of doing things rather than what has been prescribed, or innovation. So how do we strike the balance? Because even those who complain about this know that we need innovation to grow. We need creativity to do things. You cannot be doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. So how do we
Hmm.
strike a balance?
So that's a very good one, and I think that organizations need to be intentional when coming up with their structures and system, when coming up with their frameworks. So sometimes when you look at the frameworks, you'd always see things like structure, strategy, systems, skills, staff, and one of the things that needs to be added to that is style. Style needs to be added into that. So when that is added into your framework, then it makes it easier. It makes it easier to know that, oh, we want to make sure that we we are creative about how we go about it, or there's a space, there's a room and a gap for being able to inject a bit of creativity into the organization, but it has to be within the framework so it doesn't look like something abstract just coming from nowhere.
Okay, the style you are referring to, are you saying something in line with carving a unique something for yourself, like branding? Or what do you mean by
Exactly,
style?
exactly, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in terms of branding. How do we want to speak?
Your
How do we
it's
want to be approached? How do we
uh,
want to be seen? What are the kind of colors we want to be associated with? You know, I always tell
what we
people
want to be known for.
exactly. I always tell people a funny thing. I can tell a an eatery that does not have a good system or structure, that did not start up with a good system or structure in place. And how can I tell that? I can tell that simply from a color. And what color is that? Is the color red. Because anyone who sits down to do their research well would realize that red has a psychological effect on people. It makes people hungry. So that's why you always see red on most of your eatery brands. So you look at your Domino's, your
like
Mr.
like uh,
Beats.
like Mr. Beast, like Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Exactly. Your chicken rep is because they
Yes,
understand
chicken.
these things.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. What are some key performance indicators that can help assess the effectiveness of a business structure and system, for us to know that we are doing right by the system we have set up and the structure we set up? What are the indicators?
Hmm. So I think that this is um for me, maybe also being a businessman, one of the indicators is how well are we doing in terms of um the books. So what is the net profit? What's the profit margin? Because every business aim is to make profits. We need to make sure we have that established. Every business aim is to make profits. So once you look at your business and you see that you're losing money or you're not making money, that's probably one of the biggest indicators that you need to go back. You need to look at your net ratio. You need to look at the profit margin. Is it what you expected based on the pricing strategy that you had set up? If those things are not being met, then it means that we need to go back to the drawing board and look at some things that needs to be tweaked.
Okay, okay. So what role does leadership play in establishing and maintaining a structured and systematic approach within a business?
Hmm. That's a powerful one. I think that's where a lot of business owners um, are always clamoring for help, because you realize that you can you can have a system and structure in place, but when um, leadership is not on point, you find it's literally crumbling down. And um, it goes to show you, it goes to show you that every business is as successful as their leader. How you go about influencing your people, how you go about influencing your co-workers, how you go about relating with your co-workers. There's something called organizational culture, and organizational culture is never spelled out. You don't go to a company and you see them write the organizational culture on the wall, but instead it is things that people can easily see when they enter into your organization. Then in this place, respect, respect and honor. They are big on respect and honor. Why? Because those at the leadership level are intentional to make sure that they showcase that to people, and in reverse, they also receive that. So leadership is very, very important. If not, um, it might hinder all your great ideas when it comes to system and structure. So it plays a very, very important role. It's very, very, very important.
Very true. Leaders lead, others follow. So
Exactly.
you have to be careful the body language and the values you are exhibiting, which you want
Exactly.
your staff to inculcate and then to represent the values of the business. Because when we talk of vision, mission, what we sometimes go silent on is our values, which goes
Exactly.
a long way to speak for us, and then can make or mar the success of any business. Thank you very much for this great insight that you are giving us to this topic today. Before I let you go, I will just ask what would be your parting shots on this very crucial topic that our
Uh,
audience can benefit from.
um, I think thank you so much for the time and the opportunity. Once again, um, so every business and every organization is going to face challenges, but how we are going to be able to know the organizations that are successful and how we're able to tell the organization that are successful is basically how you're able to put structure and system in place.
Yes.
You know, being also a pastor, I always tell people that if you cannot leave your church and go on a vacation for 4 weeks and come back and your church is in order, then it means that you don't have structure and system in place. So as a
Yes,
business
that's
owner,
true.
also start to think about that. Do I have enough structure and system in place to be able to leave the
And the
business
business
for
will
2 weeks?
outlive and run independently of my presence.
Ex-
That
Exactly.
that's a good one, because especially for small businesses, the leaders want to make sure that they put eyes into everything, and that ties them down. So
Exactly.
maybe perhaps
And
out of
even ties
fear
them down
that
from spending time with family.
yes, yes, that's a very, very big one. Thank you very much for your great insight into this interesting topic of today. Thank you for your time. We do not take it for granted. I hope next time when we call on you, you oblige us and not see us as Oliver Twist.
No,
Thank you
no, no
very
problem.
much,
So
Dipo.
it's a
I'm
pleasure. I
so
really enjoyed my
grateful.
time. Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you. Before we go on short break before our next lap, I want to appreciate our regular viewers. I've just seen my colleague Taiwo Ojo streaming from US. You didn't take me on holiday, Taiwo. Thank you for joining us all the same. I've seen my colleague Aderinto. He has also joined us, continue to stream from Surulere. Adetunji Aderin. Thank you very much for your constant support. Other regulars are Dr. Asein and Wendy Garuba, and I saw one of my Queen colleagues, Mrs. Odi, Reverend Mrs. Odi, that joined last week. Thank you all for staying tuned to connect with comfort. I hope in our own little corner we are making some impact into the growth of your business and your personal growth too. That is our aim. We'll go on a short break right now to come back to the recap session where we just touch on the importance or summary of what our guest has shed light on before we conclude the show. Thank you very much. Please remain connected. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thank you for staying and remaining connected. As a form of wrap up, we have been told the importance of having structure and system in place for a successful business. The structure will give us guideline. We'll have a guideline or framework that we wish to call it framework by which the organization is run. This is very clear because it provides a clear guideline, roles, reporting line, hierarchy or structure that where you know who is responsible for what. To avoid duplication, to avoid confusion, it is very important that we put proper structure in place. And our system, based on the understanding of what type of business we are running, we'll put the right system that will help us to maximize and also run the business efficiently. We talk of automation, and this is possible regardless of the size of the business. Even for startup, look at what is a repetitive action in your line of operation. You can easily automate it to save time, to save money, and to have a more accuracy in what you are doing, because machines are better than we human beings in that sense. So with that, it is abundantly clear that the topic of structure and systems are not just optional considerations for businesses. They are indispensable pillars upon which successful enterprises are built. The intricate of the interplay between structure and system elements from the foundation of the organization talk and dwell about the efficiency, sustainability, and growth of the business. Of course, when we establish our business, we want it to grow. So we have to put the right structure and the right system in place to achieve this. Structure, like I said, provides the framework within which the business will operate, while system, on the other hand, are the operational gears that keep a business running smoothly, from the financial management to customer relationship management, from inventory control to data analytics. Systems are the tools that automate and optimize key processes. However, both of them need to work together. So together, structure and system form a symbiotic relationship. A well-defined structure provides the framework, like we have said, which system can be implemented and aligned with the organizational goal. Conversely, systems support the execution of the structured mandates, ensuring that the right people have access to the right information and resources at the right time for smooth running of the operation. We have come to the end of the show today. I'd like to especially appreciate all our online audience, both the regular and those that are joining us newly, for sparing time to connect with us today. Please keep in touch for further assistance on this topic or any other topic that we have dealt with in the past, or any one of your choice that you want us to bring guests to shed more light. Please keep in touch and let us know. I hope you have all enjoyed today's episode. Please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Comfort Eyitayo. Once you have subscribed, please turn on the notification button, like and share our videos. Stay updated with information about upcoming events, solutions, and offers on my Instagram account at Comfort Eyitayo, as well as my Facebook account at Comfort Eyitayo. Till I come your way again, remember that structure and systems are essential pillars that guide business towards long-term success and prosperity. I wish you the best of luck in your endeavors. Goodbye for now and good luck.